With tons of reviews online about Qatar Airways' famous Q-Suite, it's easily the best business class seat in the skies. But what about the previous business class seat that Qatar had prior to the Q-Suite? Does this seat still hold a candle to what the Q-Suite is? And is it still worth your money? Well, watch to find out. Good afternoon from a very hot Vienna. I had a good time here and I definitely visit again, but I could use some more recommendations for next time. I actually really like some of the modernness around the new train station, but I wish I had a little bit more to do. Anyways, I'm off to Singapore today with a connection in Doha. I thought before I left on my trip, it'd be easier to get an upgrade on Qatar Airways due to the recent Middle East conflict, which more or less paid off. Getting to the Vienna airport is very easy with there being a major long distance train station at the terminal. Not even 30 minutes later, and we're already at check-in. It didn't take crazy long to get checked in, but the local Qatar Airways station manager was extremely helpful. To make things leveled and not biased here, he was genuinely very friendly and helped with any questions that I had. I didn't receive anything extra, and I also received the upgrade that I put in for, so thanks Prodigy for being very helpful. During this hour at Vienna airport in the late afternoon, it's very quiet here to say the least, so getting through security and customs took no time at all. The non-Schengen area of the terminal has minimal to none fanfare, although that being said, they're currently building a new terminal extension. The type of upgrade I received did not include lounge access, that's why I typically show up last minute to the airport somewhat last minute, but I typically get here with just enough time before boarding. This also leaves some time to get some photos of the plane I'll be flying on today, this 7-year-old A350-900. In all honesty, I have a bit of a soft spot for Qatar, as it was the first airline I ever flew international business class on outside of Air Canada. Not to mention, I haven't gotten the chance to fly with them in business class since 2019, so today's flight is a real treat. And also not forgetting to mention how good the paint job looks on this aircraft. But that's enough nerding out for a little bit. It's time to board this flight for the next 4.5 hours down to Qatar. Upon entering into the cabin, the interior still looks absolutely stunning for a product that's already over 10 years old. Qatar took delivery of the A350 prior to debuting the Q-Suite, and were originally equipped with these reverse herringbone seats from Collins Aerospace. I've mentioned about this seat a ton in the past, but I personally think that Qatar has one of the best configurations for this type of seat in the skies. Waiting at my seat was a handful of goodies: blankets, pillow, a cold towel, and even an amenity kit and bottled water. I'll get into the good stuff later, but first let me explain why this seat is so great. Unlike the cookie cutter layout that most airlines choose with the seat, it's a bit more thought out. How about for starters, one storage bin being in the armrest and the other larger one being by your legs. This beats out the one in the table space where you might have larger items laid out. Or even an additional retractable armrest for more bed space. This is honestly an underrated feature. Physical buttons for the seat controls versus the touchscreen. Excellent IFE remote, and what's not to love about the seat? Not to mention the wood finishing really complements the interior colors for a very classy look. On the topic of keeping it classy, a pre-departure beverage, a Charles Heidsick Reserve, is offered, which this retailing at over $90 Canadian a bottle, I will gladly enjoy a nice tall glass. Qatar's Oryx One's IFE system is rated as one of the best entertainment systems in the skies. It's up to date with some of the latest releases in which you will not be going bored. But I do have some caveats with this. There's no live TV, although the aircraft's equipped with Starlink Wi-Fi, there's live TV available. The other inconsistencies I've came across in the past is some movie options are heavily censored. But instead you might be interested in the Brad Pitt collection. A weird and oddly specific selection to have, but Sure. That being said, the A350 camera views are always great to have, and this is still an excellent entertainment system at the end of the day. Another addition since the last time I flew on business class with Qatar Airways, the addition of the traditional Arabic coffee and dates. When I travel to the Middle East, I look forward to this treat every time I visit. The tender and sweet dates are such a nice complement to the very aromatic coffee. Already within the first half hour of being here, it's already been a pleasure, and I can't wait to see what more is in store. So, after a god-awful safety video with Kevin Hart, it's time to push back and head towards the Middle East. In the past, I found that Qatar Airways had the best value for money Wi-Fi. $10 for unlimited internet during the whole duration of the flight. It's fast, perfect for streaming, and was uninterrupted, which was truly all you need from in-flight Wi-Fi. The lavatory on the A350 is one of the best in the skies. The wood and granite look-alike finishings makes the space a bit more pleasant for its intended purpose. Light perfume, lotions are always standard in business class lavatories, but with the extra dental and shaving kits, this really goes the extra length. But how about a proper shaving mirror to actually use that shaving kit? But I think my favorite feature of this business class lavatory are the changing stools. I really wish more airlines had these installed. Before heading back to my seat, I took advantage of the snack basket that was available near the main doors. Complimentary nuts are a bit boring for the first drink service, and chips are a lot better. It's time to get a bit more situated and relax. Today's service started with a glass of cognac and soda with some chips. Well, looks like Qatar got the message and that toasted nuts are pretty boring. If you watch my videos for quite some time now, I'm normally skeptical of outstation catering, but Qatar Airways uses Doha & Co when available, which is rated as one of the best airline caterers in the world. So there's some optimism there. Starting things off with an amuse-bouche is always a nice classy affair. This was some roast beef wrapped in peppers with a small slaw, and a nice taste for what's to come. Qatar Airways was the first airline I ever had a proper soup on board when flying in business class, and it was ridiculously good. So good that I couldn't pass up the opportunity to have it again. This was a celeriac soup. It was so rich and delicious with some creme fraiche in the center. A perfect complement for their bread basket on the side. My first option of the beef tenderloin wasn't available, but the Qatari chicken majbouz was more than acceptable. I'd honestly prefer this option over the beef, as it was more of a traditional dish for the airline that I'm flying on. The nice warm spices of the tender chicken and rice really made this dish stand out above the rest. This was a great entree to have. And if I needed a little bit more spice, condiments were offered, so I took a little tiny bottle of Tabasco. One of my favorite desserts in the skies was fresh fruit with this mint syrup the last time I flew on Qatar, so I definitely had to get it again. Well, there was no mint syrup this time, but it was still pretty good to have. The syrup just really takes it the extra mile. As the evening rolls in, it's time to pass out for a couple hours, but first, I think it's best we check out what's on offer from the amenity kit provided by Diptyque. I'll be honest, I've had a lot better amenity kits from Qatar in the past. It comes with their usual lotions for face and body, plus lip balm and light perfume, not to mention the requisite socks and eye mask, but I did miss the option of having that facial mist. great to have for dry environments on board aircrafts. Some of the options you typically find in an amenity kit are found in the lavatory like the dental kit, but there are still some smaller options that are missing. But you know what? An after dinner designer chocolate and hot towel is a nice touch to have for an overall amazing service. As we're well over Turkey and admiring the beautiful sunset, a turn down service is provided, where a flight attendant will make up your bed. You can honestly do this yourself, but the flight attendants are more than obliged to help out, plus they have the mattress toppers too. Qatar's bedding is some of the best in the skies, not to mention the softest and thickest duvet I've ever came across. It's so nice to have, but I tend to sleep on the warmer side, so it's not the greatest, but that's just a personal preference. Waking up a couple hours later over the oil fields of Iraq, which I really hope to visit one day, it's hard to believe how short this flight is. It's almost the same time as Toronto to Vancouver. Even though it's relatively short, a second meal option is offered. This was a steak sandwich with grain mustard. Nice and small. Just the right size after a big dinner I just had not too long ago. The steak was nice and tender, and the mustard was a nice complement to otherwise a savory beef. As we descend over Kuwait, it's time to recap this amazing service. So much has been said about Qatar Airways on every aspect that it's really hard to pick out something that separates your video from the copious amount of reviews that are available online on the exact same topic. But I honestly think that's kind of the point of Qatar Airways, that they tend to deliver on every flight. The standards are so high that there are relatively minor flaws here and there that it just works right. These reviews are the expectations that passengers expect when they pay for a ticket on Qatar Airways, and they really deliver on all their promises. Great staff, amazing food offerings, modern aircrafts, some of the best seats in the skies. Essentially, you're getting your money's worth every time. Even if your flight isn't equipped with the Q-Suite, I still think it's worth every penny that you pay for it, for the reasons that I previously just mentioned. I will continue to fly on Qatar Airways again when given the opportunity. Before wrapping things up on this video, I'd like to give a small current update for all my subscribers watching. There's been an obvious delay in production of content to my channel, and that's due to my life being some of the busiest it's ever been. So hopefully after mid-October, the production schedule will become a bit more routine and I do some more flying come wintertime. In the short term, expect a rehash or a brand new take on my first ever video, Air Canada's longest flight in business class, but this time in premium economy, which I haven't got a chance to show off to the channel yet. Followed by the amazing Q-Suite I took right after this flight I just filmed. So if you're interested in future videos, consider subscribing to the channel. Your support always goes a long way to make videos like this one possible. So that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.